Well, Morgan Wallen, country singer Morgan Wallen, is really letting the liquor talk.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
It's one of his lyrics. All right.
Country music.
Jared, when you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. But anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
Morgan Wallen. My assumption is that he was partying after the CMT Awards, and he went out after they were over, and he ended up at Eric Church's bar that is called Chiefs. He might have been suffering from a broken heart because he went out and he found out that his baby mama / ex-girlfriend had just gotten engaged and then eloped 5 days later. And he got drunk and he went to this Chiefs bar and he went up onto the rooftop and he threw some chairs allegedly off the roof 6 floors up and he got arrested. And this is the second time recently that he's been arrested.
What bar was it? The Kid Rock one?
Chiefs. No, this was Eric Church's bar, Chiefs.
Church. Oh, I can't remember.
Eric Church is another country singer. And
no, I know that. I didn't know.
yeah.
I went there. I remember seeing all these bars. I can't remember Eric Church's.
Maybe you saw the chairs.
Maybe you
recognize
did.
it.
Maybe you would have. But we do have the security guard who was working said he saw Morgan Wallen walk in, but he didn't think it was him.
Well, I was working the front door where everybody comes in at. At first, didn't know it was him because I wouldn't think he'll come in broader daylight like that. I thought because we got a VIP section for famous people, so I didn't really think it was him. I know he looked like him, but he went straight to the rooftop. Probably about 30 minutes later, I had a call on my walkie-talkie. Somebody threw a chair off the rooftop. Went straight to the rooftop, and me and another security guard grabbed him, took him down the elevator, escorted him out to get to Metro. We brought 2 witnesses down. They talked to Metro about it. They said he did it and all that. They didn't know who Morgan was. They just described him how they was dressed up as. So then we went back and replayed the video camera footage and showed that he did it.
I can't wait to see that footage.
Yeah.
So is it one chair or more than one chair?
They're saying that they think it might have been more than one chair, but he continues, the security guard, who, by the way, you can tell that he's seen some stuff.
And he sounds just like AML Chris.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
He is unfazed.
Right.
He is not surprised by anything. He's like, thought it might have been
He
more
does sound
Morgan
like
Wallen. Not sure.
Maybe not Morgan Wallen.
Didn't
I don't
know.
know.
Who knows? But he continues.
You had to throw it pretty hard to get all the way in the street from Chiefs rooftop. And them chairs are not light. They're probably about 20 pounds.
Oof.
Made out of stainless steel, so
Ooh.
they say he had to throw hard.
Did they say he was in a verbal argument with somebody, that he was joking around?
No, they just say he was being an idiot and just threw it. There wasn't really no argument or nothing about it. Just him being drunk. I feel like he wasn't in the right state of mind.
I'm sorry, but a 20-pound chair that's made of stainless steel could have killed somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
6 floors up. Even if you had just chucked it off 1 floor, if it had hit somebody the wrong way.
Or
In
just
the
in this,
head or something.
Or this
Yes.
room, you throw it at somebody hit in the face.
Absolutely. So 6 floors up. And I do want to tell you, because the internet wins a lot, especially when people are having some sort of reaction to this. So some of the best things that we've seen so far, somebody said, I'm going to tell Morgan Wallen what my teacher used to tell me. Keep all 4 on the floor.
Right. Yep.
Said Morgan Wallen was charged with 3 felonies and not a single one of them was for that haircut. Somebody wrote, I just know that Morgan Wallen's PR team is tired.
Oh, they got to be.
They got to be tired. Somebody also posted the famous clip, of Bobby Knight chucking the chair during the basketball
Yes.
game,
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And the caption just read, Morgan Wallen after 2 vodka cranberries and a White Claw. So the internet is winning.
But these chairs that he threw,
Cranberries and a White Claw.
he got charged with felonies, and 3 of them. It's got to be something about, endangering. Because if the chairs, see, it's all in context. Were people walking all over the place, or he just knew it and just saw the chair and threw it off a building on the side? You know what I'm saying? There is a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I was not there. I would love to see the footage, but I can assume when you are having a great time. Now, I don't chuck things, and I'm not a dude, but I can imagine that if you're up on the rooftop, maybe you're having, it's not an excuse, but if you're having a little bit of heartbreak and you're just drinking to get rid of the pain and somebody, whatever, you're like, oh, and you do something in that moment, you're not thinking who's
That
below
I see, but
or whatever, but you still did it,
You're
and
also
you have
in
to pay for
Nashville,
the consequences.
on
It's not.
crowded.
It's not an
on a-
empty street.
Right.
Right, but that's my point. I mean, you know how there's more to the story always, and I guess because he was charged with 3 counts of felony. But there are times when it's like, they throw it off the side, and then nobody was there, and because he was mad. So you know how it is. I get very mad at inanimate objects all the time.
Yeah.
And I think even in rage, I'll throw it, but I'll throw it in an area that I know that it's not going to hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I want to know if he threw it in an area that was so dangerous because people are all. And didn't you say something he was mad at? At his girlfriend.
We're assuming
We're
that.
assuming.
Yeah,
We're
because
assuming
she just
it.
His
like,
ex.
His ex, his baby mama, got engaged, and then they eloped.
And if that's the case, and if she's an ex and she's all mad at that, it's almost like he had something for her still. She's crazy not to be with him because he's rich and famous now.
She was with him before.
I know, but she's rich and famous now.
Yeah, but she was with him before, and
she has a baby with him, so she's going to make plenty of money.
Yeah, but that's just the child support. She needs to be with him and get
Maybe
money.
she's not with him because he's crazy and does crap like
He
this.
throws stuff off of
Yeah,
still
like
worth
who
it.
wants to be with that?
Yeah, and even if you're like, it's an empty street, throwing a metal chair off of a 6-story building is stupid.
It's stupid.
And dangerous.
Yeah,
We've
and
all done.
Well,
No,
yeah,
we haven't.
No, we all haven't, and maybe we've all done things that are stupid and in the
Yes.
moment, but you still did it, and there are still consequences.
You've never thrown like a penny off the Empire State Building?
No, I've never been
I've
to the
always
top
told
of the...
not to do that, although I
Yeah.
think it's a myth. They say the speed, it can like crush somebody. But I've also heard that's not true.
Yeah, it only goes so fast.
Right. Let's go to our official attorney, Lisa Lanier. 1, first of all, thanks for joining us. 2, how many years could he be facing, and do you think he will be convicted?
Well, I don't know if he'll be convicted, but here's kind of some more details that'll help.
Yeah.
So, number one, it is not a myth that gravity accelerates an object and makes it much more impactful, literally, on whatever it hits. So, 9.8 meters per second force on, if you remember that from physics class from back in the day, on an object. So the higher it is, the worse it is. He could have absolutely obliterated somebody if it had hit them. And here's the really stupid part. It was a crowded street. Like you said, it was the night after the CMTs. It's Nashville. Everybody's out, bar hopping and whatever. But here's the real kicker. It was a few feet. It landed a few feet from a group of Nashville police officers.
All right.
And so they were hot. They were like, this dude just about killed us if we'd been like 2 feet closer to where this landed. And there were some other passerbys very, very close. So he was at the Chief, this bar owned by Eric Church. Not long ago, you mentioned the bar owned by Kid Rock. He got thrown out of that bar. You got to be a bad kid to get thrown out of Kid Rock.
You have to be like an insane person to be thrown out of bars. You have to be insane. Multiple times.
Especially
Standards
Kid
are
Rock.
not very high.
They're probably very tolerant of what you can do there.
And you're a superstar. But like to be thrown out of multiple bars, you got to be insane.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy's just so he was charged with 3 counts of a Class E felony, which involves use of a deadly weapon, and anything can be a deadly weapon. In this situation, from that height, a 20-pound steel chair is a deadly weapon. So he faces 6 years, 1 to 6 years on each count of that.
Oh, geez.
And then he was charged with misdemeanor disorderly conduct. What is expected is that, his lawyers will negotiate and go, look, a chair's not typically a deadly weapon. It wasn't a gun. They don't usually prosecute people deadly weapon unless they don't, even though it can be considered that, they don't usually prosecute you for deadly weapon unless you actually had a gun or a knife. So they'll probably try to, enter into a plea agreement where he just gets probation, gets rid of these felonies, and that may work. And, he may, at some point, he's going to have to play I have a problem card, and I'll go get help. But, and that card is a real get-out-of-jail-free card for celebrities a lot of times. And they'll go to rehab, and they may or may not stay sober. But that whether or not he truly has a drinking problem, that card will be played at some point with this escalation of behavior that we're seeing.
Yep.
Well, it was suspected before that he did have a drinking problem when he canceled those dates. I mean, so there's some speculation about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, his behavior is certainly consistent with that. And here's the thing, what didn't help him any is that he was smiling and laughing the whole time.
Right.
I watched video this morning when I was getting ready for this. I watched countless videos that passerbys took of when he was getting into the squad car and he's laughing and he's waving. And then even in his mugshot, which I posted on my Lanier Law Group Instagram and Facebook, he's grinning. He's grinning in that. And, he's just, I don't know. This our way.
Some
we
arrogance.
were talking a minute ago off air that he's just, they're I get the real douchebag vibe from this kid. I really do.
We were just, Lisa, going over some of the best things from the internet. You know, the internet always wins when any of this ever happens. But I think the best burn of all time, somebody wrote, Beyonce is number 1 on the country charts. Morgan Wallen is number 1015626. Davidson County Sheriff's Department.
That's a good one.
And Lisa, can he get any type of sympathy in the courtroom if, let's say, there was a really strong connection with his ex-girlfriend and he found out it was his fiance did elope and it was like a heat of passion type act?
You know, I don't think that's even going to hold any water because of the way he behaved leaving, like he was having the time of his life, waving and, you know, flashing his goofy smile at everybody. And, you know, in the mugshot, I mean, you know, you've done something really stupid. You should, I mean, what you should do is say, hey, I could have killed somebody. I am so sorry. Yeah. And he should have been tail between his legs all the way to the police department, but he wasn't, you know. And so, you know, that's just, to me, that's where you see that factor of just arrogance and I'll do whatever I want to do and they'll get me out of it.
Yeah,
you know,
and if he did hurt somebody, sorry, Jared, if he did hurt somebody, not only I'm sure there could be the civil, of course, lawsuit against him from the individual that he hurt or even killed for the maybe the family or something. Is there more charges on top of that, or the charges? That's the charges, and he's lucky he didn't kill somebody, hurt somebody bad because it would have been a lawsuit.
I think the big difference in terms of nobody getting hurt is he stands a lot better chance of getting, you know, a plea deal where he doesn't do actual time but gets like probation. But if he'd hurt somebody, he would have been going to jail for sure. I mean, it was definitely.
Now,
you think about, we live in a world where, remember those moms, those celebrity moms that paid to have their kids' grades fixed, and they went to prison.
Yeah.
Right. Right, for
and
USC.
This dude is going to probably walk on this. I mean, what's wrong? You know, what's wrong with that?
Now, if his name was Gary Wallen and he wasn't famous, do you think he would be more likely to go to prison?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. I mean, I think, people go to jail all the time, you know, who don't have the wherewithal to get out of it like this guy will.
And he has the fraud. He can just keep hiring and spending money on attorneys like it's nothing, where somebody else doesn't have that.
Like a public defender. And then with probation for, I think this is how it works, but let's say he gets 5 years probation. If he commits any crime after that, then within that time frame, he would then have to go to prison, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain felonies and things that he could not commit after that, but he'll be out of that jurisdiction for a lot of the time, and who knows? I mean, but yeah, if he did, he could potentially then have his probation revoked.
Gotcha.
Because he could commit another misdemeanor. And that might not, like, I think Squid.
Might not.
Yeah, it would have to be another felony type thing, usually, I think.
Yeah. Usually, yeah.
And he's on tour right now. So it's, you know, there's going to be pressures out there for him to maybe misbehave a little bit. Right. Go out with the boys, drink, you're drinking on tour, you're having a good time, meeting up with people. And I mean, there's.
Get revenge on your ex who's already moved on.
Right.
And
I'm not saying that that's like what will happen, but I can imagine when you're on a tour and you already have this kind of arrogance that, like, if you have to be buttoned up and behave, that's going to be hard.
Yeah, because, I mean, he already had the N-word controversy.
Right.
I mean, what is wrong with him? And that, I was like,
he's got to have some issues. I mean, because I'm telling you, he went. You're the one that suspected it, Jared, when he canceled his tour because of they said it was a vocal thing, but it was not too far after the what he said incident, and now he's doing this. He must have an alcohol issue.
Yeah, and I did see people post. Now that's the most important thing at all. They're like, he already canceled on us one time,
right?
And they're like, I bought tickets, or maybe they got refunded. I have tickets again for this summer. If he is out again, it's like they were like, screw him forever. Like, I'm not a fan anymore. All right, Lisa, you're the best. Thank you so much. Ever injured on the job? Contact her right away at hireaheavyweight.com. Top 100 attorney in the entire country, which is awesome.